It appears the Golden State Warriors cannot be beat. Last night, the team extended its record-breaking streak of 23 consecutive games after beating the Indiana Pacers. The team's chaplain talks about the team's success and his own personal journey from the streets to prisons to the court. It is today's Faith on the Field. Earl Smith is chaplain for the hottest team in the NBA, but
I'm not a basketball fan.
The Golden State Warriors have started this season with a record-breaking performance.
But it's not so much what they're doing on the court, it's what I see among themselves. It's what I see, how they love each other, how they treat each other, how they're happy to be around each other.
The team broke the record for most consecutive wins, passing the San Antonio Spurs record of 20 games back in 2012. And the team's leader, 27-year-old point guard Steph Curry, is eyeing records of his own. Some are already adding his name to the list of NBA legends, like Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. But he also has something more important than a jump shot.
He's an unbelievable competitor, wants to win, but more important than anything is his relationship. He has a relationship that far exceeds a three-point shot, far exceeds accolades that are in the arena. He's a family man. He loves his wife.
And Smith credits positive, loving relationships as one key element to his ministry, on and off the field. Along with being the chaplain for the Warriors and the San Francisco 49ers, Smith has been ministering to prisoners for more than 25 years. And he says there's not much difference between a professional athlete and a prison inmate.
They both have numbers. Guys in prison have numbers, athletes have numbers. If you think about it, the counties that most populate the prison system are also the counties that most populate professional sports. So these guys, there's a very small space between prison and professional sports in terms of, but there's a break.
Part of that break, Smith says, comes from a lack of positive influence, something he knows firsthand from his own childhood.
I was an angry kid. I was a drug dealer, gang member. More than anything, I was angry. I was angry about the way I grew up.
At age 19, after a drug deal went bad,
they brought someone to my house, and that person he brought to my house shot me. But I tell people it wasn't personal, it was business. It was based on my lifestyle.
He was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening bullet wounds.
The blessing is, that's not the end of the story.
With little chance of recovery, the doctor told Smith's father he would need a miracle to survive.
Doctor looked at my dad, told him I wasn't going to make it, I was going to die. And my dad grabbed the doctor. I was laying on the gurney, and he says, "Doctor, you better do what you do best. I'm going to do what I do best." And my dad walked out of the room, and I understood later that he went to pray. And as I was laying there, all of a sudden, when you're shot, everything, your body is burning up. Every place that a bullet hits is like hot heat, a poker. And all of a sudden, the burning stopped. All of a sudden, I felt a peace and a quietness came over me, and I heard this voice say, "You're not going to die. I have something for you to do. You're going to be a chaplain at San Quentin Prison."
The doctor couldn't explain the recovery.
He didn't know what was going on. But I knew. Even though I didn't really have a true relationship with Jesus, I understood with grace. I understood when he talks about my grace is sufficient. There's more to life. And I was saved at that point. I fought it. But it was those holes, they closed up. That was nothing but Jesus.
And the healing didn't end after he left the hospital. Once he became a chaplain at the prison, he ran into the man who shot him.
I'm giving out Christmas cards, and I come upon this guy. I look at him, and I say to him, "What's your name?" And he jumps away from the bars, and he tells me who he is. And I just looked at him, and I realized going to Bible college and seminary and all these other things didn't mean anything. I heard about forgiveness, but I still hated him. And yet I was a chaplain, and I was asking, and I started to walk away, and I started to cry. "God, why would you bring me all the way to this point, make me think I was okay?" In actuality, I wasn't. I had to pass by him again on my way leaving. And when I got back to his cell, I looked at him and he was at the back. His wall was against the cell wall. And I said, I need to thank you. God used you to get to me. And those words came from Jesus. They didn't come from me.
From his own personal testimony, from drug dealer to chaplain, Earl Smith knows the impact your own experience can have. But also he knows God is bigger than where you come from and what you've done.
Whether it's with the Warriors or any person that I meet, I want them to know that there's hope. For me, when I talk about hope, I talk about let's go back to where it starts. Let's talk about what it was that got you to this point. Because if we can discuss that, I can show you a Jesus that can get you beyond that.